racing, compacted with trials of life, heartache sending blows, pulsating levels from one strife. My soul is darkened from shadows lurking all around, lips frozen stiff, restricting developmental form of sound. Questioning past as seed from whence one soul, wounds and scars, which is of deserving, I just don't know. Exhausted and walk, body fall numb on blanketed sand, focusing towards dancing ocean waves as an orchestrated band. Wind softly massaging my face while it flows swiftly by, temporarily comforting my inward spirits as briskly time flies. Remembering shared times together and joy he brought to my heart. Misconception of my words resulted in tearing us apart. Emptiness fills my life as the silence of his voice, being treated as an auction valued item withheld from my choice. Yearning for his love, he kept me placement confused. Past image of offerings is what drawed me completely amused. His hands slowly faded as towards love grew even stronger. The man who hungered me and desired existed no longer. Spaded cards flipped as the guarded gate opened wide, assuming through everything he will remain by one side. All appears a nightmare, for he always imprinted my smile and need of his embrace for misconception and distancing mile. Gradually I gently opened the eyes as set inward beginning fears looking down in my hands. Embrace was a fistful of tears. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. I see y'all out there. Today, I am so excited. We're going to be sharing with you the contestants that entered the portrait contest videos and getting y'all vote and insight on it as well. So just sit back, get that cool glass. I know somebody out there got their crab legs ready. That's all right, girlfriend. I got you. But, we're going to have a good time with it. We still have the phone lines up. So if you want to call in, make sure you call in. So let's get on with the announcements. So what we're going to start with now, well, first, what we're going to do is wish somebody a happy birthday. Miss Chrissy Darling, today is her birthday. Yes. This was our 2023 Powerful Poet of the Year, and today is her birthday. Also, make sure you tune in next week to the Grown Men Talking Incorporated. They will be talking about the unfulfilled proportion when it's the appetite of a woman that is too much to where one man is not satisfying her enough. Ooh, that's going to be fire. But make sure you set it for notifications because they going to bring it. Also coming up, remember, we're going to have that raffle going up. We got the Mother's Day Purple Heart raffle going on. So make sure you get ready. Keep your eyes on the post because we're going to be hitting it live. And we don't want to forget about the fathers. Hey, hey, without the fathers, there will be no mothers with the children. So make sure you put your white hearts up there because that symbolizes for the fathers. So we'll be having that coming up as well after the Mother's Day. So we got a lot of treats coming up. So make sure you keep it posted. And to go ahead and assist me with this today, because we got to have our male and our female on here. And so I'm telling you, he's gonna bring his wisdom, he's gonna bring the depth of what he feels. No other than our assistant co-host, Mr. Britton.
What's happening, y'all? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, lady? How you doing?
Oh, great. I am so excited. I'm so excited.
I know that's right. You've
I
been
mean,
waiting on this. You've been counting it down.
yeah, I'm telling you straight up, they have brought that pressure when they entered. They wasn't playing. I'm telling you, they wasn't playing. They was like, we're gonna make sure we're gonna give them a headache, and they gave it. I'm telling you, it,
Mm.
it got so hot up there in there to where we had to bring in a mediator. So
Ooh.
yeah, so we got the mediator to come on in. She did. She helped us out, and hey, we was able to get that powerful poet. And I'm gonna tell you, I cannot wait till we go live and announce it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Now we're not gonna be announcing the winners
That's
today.
right. That's right.
Today we're just gonna go ahead and we're going to go ahead and Do I hear some music? Oh, okay. We're gonna go ahead and let y'all see what the judges had to deal with. So we got some good poets out there, and I want to sit there and say, Real Spit Radio, thank you for tuning in. Christy, what's up, beautiful? You're so welcome. Mr. Lee's in the building. Yeah. And also we got Miss Honey. Come on with it. Come on
What?
with it.
Not no
Yes,
honey.
Honey, watching on. Hey. So you know what? Let's start out with this. When you think of poetry, what comes to your mind?
First thing that comes to my mind is uh, a passionate energy that seems to connect with one's soul and to formulate a unique expression of sentiments that only they possess. Mm.
Yes, yes, love it. Mr. Lee said it's therapy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And a lot of people, it's like the poets have been on a back burner for years, and people just never acknowledge them. So it's like they, once they get step their feet into that water, they get to realize that it's something that is of healing. Just like Mr. Lee say, therapy. To me, when I got to writing, it was a place to escape. To give me strength, a place to vent.
Hmm.
So, I love poetry. I write it myself. I have my own CD out. I'm actually working on my second one. So I got Mr. Jones assisting me with that. That's a blessing. I'm telling you, a blessing in disguise.
Hmm.
I would say when he bringing that beat, oh, as soon as I hear it, I'm like, oh, let me get in here in the studio. So, there's different levels of poetry. Now, I know that with me, I can honestly say that with poetry, I love the one that actually soothes the soul, which is when you're in it. Because when I write, I know people when I go places, they be like, "Oh, Spice, come on, we won't go." No, 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 no. Because see, when I write my poetry, it's in a place where I combine myself in peace with God, to where He's helping me with the healing in a poetic style. It's a true existence, but it's in a poetic style. And so writing that helped me to heal, and it gave me strength to where I was able to expand and help others with it as well. So, my thing is with you, have you ever written any sort of poetry?
Yeah, I have. Absolutely. In fact, as a writer, I tend to use my writing as therapeutic as well. Although I do write like movies and books, scripts, that type of thing. We can't help but to want to delve into the poetic side, and that Gil Scott in me tends to creep out every now and then. But for me, like I said, it's an expression. You know what I'm saying? It's an expression of how I feel that day. So I may not be always be in a love type state. So I may want to express my poetry. It may be a revolutionary state I'm in that day. I may have seen something in my community, with these young brothers and the sagging pants and the way that the little sisters are being treated. And I may be inspired there to write something. And it may come off, the tempo of it may be a little bit more radical, so to speak. So, yeah, so poetry is something that I think is at the epic center of any writing. You know what I'm saying? Because it has its own melodic sound to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, love it, love it. And you're right about that, because we gonna actually do the commercial breaks. We're gonna be sharing also some poets that are out there that are very great. Uh and these women I mean, I fell in love with them. I got to meet them personally and form a relationship with them, and began on a journey to where we was able to share our own stories from our past. So it's like when you go to poetry, I mean, like I said, I have my own, but then there's other levels where they have the slam poetry. They have the ones with violence. And to me, it's a message. But what I love now is that, I really truly thank God for Angela Frazier, which was our 2022 powerful poet. And she came to me, yes, yes. And she came to me and she was like, she's a teacher. So she brought some children to me. So I was like, wow, yeah, I love the idea just to get kids involved and see what unique style that it could bring, and what it does to them, and then how the parents encourage them. And I can actually say when it came down to 2023, when we brought the children's category in, it was a new experience for myself as well, because they knew they won, but they didn't know when they was going to receive the gift. So I made it to the point to where I said, you know what, I'm gonna make the feel even special. So last year we actually took, you know, one of the poets, we surprised him at the school. I contacted the school, and the teacher helped me get everything set up. We went out there and set it up with the parents because I always make sure the parents are aware. And I think it was such a blessing and a joyous time for this young man because his dad took off work. He didn't think he was gonna get off work, but he jetted off of work because he just said, "I can't miss this moment for my son." So we had the mother there, we had the father there, and we had the teacher that brought him on. So when we stepped in the class, the teacher started clapping, and he started clapping. Everybody's clapping, and he's clapping, and he's looking like, "What? Why are we clapping?" And then when he see his parents come in, he was like, "What are y'all doing here?" So when we was able to present his award in front of the classroom, it was like that was a memorable moment for me, and I think it was a memorable moment for him and his family as well. So as well as the school announcing it on the intercom for him. So we was very, very happy to do that for him and his parents supporting him in that. We started it in 2022. We're now in 2024. Still got our children's category. And I'm telling you, these kids are getting more and more deep. What do you think?
Wow. Yeah, I think that you're absolutely right. You're absolutely on point. And I listen to a lot of young adults. They do a version that's like spoken word.
Mhm.
So I know you're familiar with that, and it's poetic. I just like the way that our youth, where their head is at now. They're so inspirational and powerful. Yeah. So yeah,
Yes.
I tend to agree with you, Spicy.
Yes, and that's what I've been so excited about. Especially I was on TikTok. I came out for a minute because after we do the Father's Day, I have to headstrong get into the fourth book because I got people that didn't finish the third one already. I truly want to say thank you for y'all support. I love y'all. The sales has been really good, but it's not about that. It's about the healing and breaking the chain, but now they're getting to feel what I've been through in breaking my chain. So it's tied up with the childhood. So they ready for that other piece. I mean, it's like they getting hungry and I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Hmm.
So Hello, Mr. Ali. How you doing? Yes, yes. So, that was one of our contestants as well as Christy. So I'm glad to see them in the building so they can see everybody's response. They're going to get, me and Mr. Britton's, input on each one. And like I said, we have the adults and then we have the children's, which I really truly said that, with the children joining in now, because I can say these children that joined this time, it felt so good to see that the mothers pushed behind him and supported him.
That's right.
And even called and had a conversation to where I talked to them. And it was a moment I will never, never, never forget. So, it's like I am so excited for everyone to see this and to see the pressure that they bought. And, the pressure that they bought, I'm telling you, y'all gonna feel what the judge had to go through because I mean, it was a battle. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead with our first video. So this is the poet. This poet here is Miss Nice With It.
There's secrets and some truths behind every written word, omissions so that feelings won't be hurt. Tapping into the depths of someone's passion, leaving them naked and exposed. Nothing left to hide, vulnerable to you. Yet, who truly knows one's heart or mind? That could be protected. That is their true weapon. Knowledge, devotion, transparency of who they are. Trusting you to embrace parts of them. Trusting you to listen and learn from their success. Mainly, learn from their mistakes. Providing you with experiences that were traumatic, painful, embarrassing, almost cost them their lives. So that you may avoid making them too, and they are not damaging more lives. Touch it. Breathe it all in. It's there, warnings, signs, right before your very eyes, like writings on a wall, you cannot miss it. Hand in our chest, handing you our hearts, do with it as you wish. Writings on the Wall by Lovely Vibes. Painting the roses black. You're gone and not coming back. I know you were tired, we kept each other inspired, and I wish I could just roll time back. Between the two of us, you were always the nicer sister. So when I'm feeling mean, I'll listen for your whisper, giving me that voice of reason when I'm very matter of fact. You weren't a fan of colors, so I'm painting the roses black. I talked to you that day. Our FaceTime was so clear, planning your relocation so you could be more near. And when I got the call, I already knew, because a part of me had died right along with you. I called you my little pet because you were always big dog, and now you are our angel, helping us see through the fog. I love you isn't deep enough, but I know you feel what I cannot say. We even studied each other's zodiacs. For you, I'll keep a bouquet. I hope you keep me balanced whenever I fall off track, and know that I am missing you when I paint the roses black.
I'm trying not to get emotional here. I'm telling you, telling you. Make sure y'all tune in next week because I'm telling you, my men, they're gonna bring that fire with the unfulfilled proportion. That's April 26th, where a woman is not satisfied with just not one man. Wow.
Mm.
And once again, we want to give a shout out to Miss Chrissy Darling. She was our 2023 Powerful Poet of the Year. Today is her birthday. Make sure you give her some love. We want to say happy birthday. I was trying not to get emotional there. The rest of the faces you will see. I made an exception for this young lady. She had appeared on our show 1 year and she had entered in 2022. Um, she reached out to me on Instagram. She was actually the first one to enter as a contestant. And when I say that it's like my heart goes deep because that poem she wrote right when she recently lost her sister and they was real close. She was still emotional, but she wanted to enter that in memory of her sister. So, our hearts and prayers go out to Miss Nice with it. And it's a beautiful piece. I met her on TikTok when somebody tried to bash her as a poet. So when I stepped in, I said, no, you're not doing this, not to us poets. I understand exactly where she's coming from. So that's how I got to know her. And when I say she brings it. So, looking at that piece with Miss Nice with it, like I said, our hearts go out to her from the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. And it's a beautiful piece. I felt her emotions. I felt her words. I felt her pain. And it was something to where it actually just now almost just broke me. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. So it's hard. So looking at that piece, what did you get from that, and what did you feel when it came to Miss Nice with it?
Well, first of all, let me say this. You're not the only one whose eyes begin to get a little moist at hearing that piece. Um, yeah, she has that effect. Um, I thought it was a heart wrenching, uh, gut searching piece. She was brave, courageous, you know what I'm saying? And, obviously, under something that motivated her poem through emotional how can I say this, emotional devastation. Because anytime we lose somebody, anytime we're separate from somebody, the pain is so devastating. You know what I'm saying? To the point to where we really don't even know to what magnitude. And that's the beauty behind writing. Because writing, you get an opportunity to express how you feel those emotions to an extent far greater than you would have if you just said, "Oh well, I feel like," I mean, she searched her heart. So yeah, big ups, big up.
Yes. And the first commercial break that we seen before we saw Miss Nice with it was Miss we call her Lovely Vibes.
Mhm.
And this comment here, you see, this is Miss Lovely Vibes. That was her piece. When I seen her piece, I had to put it in our commercial because she's very deep. Everything you can feel from her heart. She does have books out. Kind of, she got more than me out. Girlfriend is gone with it, but she, if you interested in her, just one of her pieces. Her book is available on Amazon. And if you would, Miss Lovely Vibe, put the name of your books up there. So if anyone's interested, they can go ahead and look up your books and order it. And I do have two of her books. I gotta get some more. I gotta catch up. But just like her piece is beautiful, I'm telling you, her soul is just as beautiful. Beautiful lady. So, yeah, when you look at these pieces, I mean, you gotta, you know, actually go into the place where they at. And this is what we looked at when we did the contest, is that if they can actually put us in position to where we can feel them. And we can actually visualize ourselves being there. And then the emotion they put into it. And with her, my opinion is I feel like she did put the emotions there. I was not one of the judges, but the emotions to me was there. She had some power to it. And I could feel and see the love that she had for her sister.
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And so, like, it's just, when it come down, I mean, in the comments, y'all can vote, say your opinion, bring it on, because they are watching. They don't know who's the one that has, there's her books. She says, Chosen, Writing on the Walls, which is the piece that we just heard. Writing on the Walls, beautiful piece, great job. Thank God for that one there that spoke volumes. Then she also has Lovely's Poetic Garden by Lovely Vibes. And all of them are available on Amazon. So please go over there, support her, show some love. I'm telling you, you will not regret it, and it'd be worth a dollar. And what I love about this connection with the poetry women that I came in contact with and some of the men is that we all have a story. We all can relate to each other's pain, even though it's in different level, you know. And that's why, I love the fact that God had placed these people in my path. And I can name a few here. You know, it's just that, when you think of poetry, it's like music to me. But just like you say, there's particular things that make you think of words. I can honestly say that I draw a lot from my pain. I draw a lot from my experiences. But also there was times where I had to keep a notebook and a pen and a pad right there beside me in the bed because I will wake up out of my sleep sometime 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's like God just put a certain line there or a certain title there, and it's like He wanted me to speak to someone through those words.
Mhm.
And I really truly thank my father for that because, you know, through that it was my healing, but also the healing for others as well. Because I don't know how many people that came back and said, your book helped me. I escaped because of you. I had somebody stop me in HEB. I don't know if y'all have that up there, but it's a grocery store. And I was just shocked that it ran up to me. And it was like, you just don't know how much you really helped me. And
Right.
I was like, "Well, don't thank me. You thank our Father."
Right.
Because like I tell people, things that we go through, we can't always say, "Why me?" Because we don't know God's purpose. He could be molding you for His purpose so that you could be a testimony to help others and draw people in. So that's why I say, I love poetry. I love poetry.
Hmm.
And this is why I really enjoy doing this because it helps us to expose the different levels and the different emotional roller coaster rides that people can put you on. And I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And Lovely Vine says he pulls us out of the pit to help us to help others. Yes, yes, true, true. But we could also say, poetry. I tell people any time that writes, I says, when they angry, I say that's the best time to write.
Right.
When you're hurting, that's the best. That's the best writing you could do.
That's right.
Don't ever say, "Well, I'm not in the mood," or "I don't feel." That's the moment right there. Because I know that time that I was crying, I was hurting, and I was just like, just started writing. And then when I finished, it was just like, just a layer just came off of me. So when you write, what do you get from it when you finish?
Wow, I'm exhilarated when I finish. Anything that I write and I complete, it's like completing this journey, and normally I'm left um, feeling uplifted. I'll be honest, even if it's something dealing tragically, because I've got a chance to review what I've written and to assess my honest feelings and to be able to do something a little bit different. But I love writing. I love it. And although I don't publicly put out a lot of my poems and whatnot, because I'm kind of radical. I'm an old man. I come from I come from the revolution will not be televised there, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm basically looking at things, and I'm probably really like expressing some really radical views in terms of how we're treated as African Americans, how we treat each other, and
Yes.
more importantly, the relationship aspect. But in terms of finishing writing, man, I mean, it's no better feeling that when you create something, you know what I'm saying, and you see it to its fruition, you see it to its completion. It's like, it's I mean, what better?
Yes. Yes. And in saying that, we're gonna bring our next contestant in for y'all to see. And I'm gonna tell y'all, it's beautiful. Like I said, you're gonna feel this pressure. Mr. Desmond Jones.
This Morning by Desmond 337 Jones. Last night I tasted strange fruit beneath my pillow as I endured the stench of death's breeze gazing through my windows. I could see the cotton fields and the whips that kept them going. I felt the pains of oppression and the joys of freedom's homecoming. Last night I talked to Malcolm and debated with Martin, and we all agreed that we need to be doing more than just marching. I spoke with Rosa as she refused to release her seat, sat beside her, and inherited the courage to speak. And in a gentle voice, she leaned over to me and said, life for me ain't been no crystal stair, so don't you sit down because you think this kind of hard. And then she said, run, black man, run. So I ran all the way to Greenville, Mississippi, because I remember my grandmother had a plan to bring blacks back from the pitfalls of racial injustice. So she introduced me to Harriet Tubman, who gave me my instructions and said, run, black man, run. So I ran all the way to Virginia without delay, where I met up with John Brown at Harper's Ferry on that glorious day and rallied the troops when we recited If We Must Die by Claude McKay. And just before they surrounded him with the lion's roar, he shouted, run, black man, run. So I ran across 7 seas and down the street to Gandhi's, where we prayed that the truth be spoken from the top of every roof, the bottom of every ocean, and the peak of every mountain. And just before he took his last breath, this prayer he prayed, run, black man, run. So I ran right past Gory Island and out of the filth society buried my dignity in, and I rose, a phoenix, flying on the flames from the depths of my self-inflicted pains. I woke up this morning and a voice said, stand, black man, stand for what it means to be the king of your land. Stand for those who have fallen victim to the prejudice of time, those who have lost their lives on the picket lines. For it is you that they fear, imitate, and despise. You are the blood, sweat, and tears that built this country. You are the farmer cultivating your children's destiny. You are the activist holding governments accountable for their actions. You are the lawyer convicting Lady Justice and her racial imbalance. See, Last night I tasted strange fruit beneath my pillow, all because my ancestors kicked, clawed, and scraped at my windows, shouting, "No justice, the revolution, no peace will not be televised," sparking in me a fire fueled by equity, education, and employment. So last night I fell asleep, third eyes wide, and traveled through time, searching for a better peace of mind. And this morning I woke up for the first time.
Run, black man, run.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, I'm woke. I am woke. Now, when you hear that, what do you get from that from Mr. Desmond?
Well, I get first of all that he's conscious. He's woke. So I will get a brother, that off the rip. It's nice to see conscious black man. So he's conscious, and I can tell that he's entrenched in that era that I was speaking about earlier. The Gil Scott Heron, the revolution would not be televised. In fact, he mentioned some of those things that allowed me to know that that's what he was in touch with. So from that, I actually get that this brother is, he's conscious, and he's trying to make us, or the listener, become just as conscious, to wake up our community. You know what I'm saying? It's a wake up call, and I like the fact that he used some quotes from other writers, poetry writers such as Gil Scott, and he also had Maya Angelou in there. So I heard those flavors, which was great, you know. But I know he has some originality, you know what I'm saying, which I like to hear much more of. So yeah.
Love it, love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. I love the way he used his skills and his words to just catch the attention. He definitely bringing that power, and that fire, and he's letting to educate you to compare the past. I like saying where they brought us from to where we at now. And to me, that not only educates and make the grown people think, but I think it's a good tool in educating our children as well. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We live in a time where, um, and let me say this, I mean, because we have to have honest dialogue to understand where all of this comes from, right? So, what I know to be a fact is that this stems from a continuation of oppression to black men. You know what I'm saying? In particular, let alone black people, but black men in particular. They're still there's still an active, how can I say it, threat against the black male in this country. You know what I'm saying? And what I heard from him was, just that revolutionary cry that we need to extend to our children, because
Mhm.
what's happening is they're eradicating books. They're taking books out of certain segments of the population in certain states. We all automatically know what they're doing in Florida. So when you have this type of thing happening, this is why it, like in Africa and in slavery time, what I'm saying, we firmly believed in the storyteller.
Yeah.
And so he's reminiscent of those old storytellers. They that's what they did. That's how they got the message across. Even in songs, when they were talking about way in the water, they was telling, "Hey, just hold on in the water, just wade in the water." You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? This is reminiscence of that. This is how we have to educate our children. We have to be clever enough to do it in song, to do it in poetry, to do it theatrically. You know what I'm saying? Because they're taking so much and they continue to attack us. So we have to develop this thing that they can't take. You know what I'm saying? It's not in the book. You don't have to worry about seeing it in the book. Take the book. It's in you. It's in I. It's in him. It's in Desmond. You know what I'm saying? It's in storytellers. So we're so prolific in the advancement of our race and our culture. We have to be.
Yes. Love it. And, you know, I love the way he brought it. I love the way he set things up so that you will actually pay attention. I could actually say that when it came down to Desmond was able to keep your attention as well as nice with it. You know, there's no way you can fall asleep.
Mm-mm.
You know, and that's what I loved about him is like I could continue to look and not be like, you know, but he's bringing a message. And that's what I like about poetry as well, you know, is that the message that they bring in order to just not educate, but to make you stronger, to make you wiser, to make you appreciate and to not forget. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to our second break. And our second break is with my baby, my baby. And I love her to death because not only can she flow in a poetic style, but she also got a vocal that can wake any baby up in a calm way.
Okay.
So we know we're gonna go to our break and we're gonna see Miss the Femme Nikita that's gonna bring her piece, and then all the way from Africa is our third contestant. I cannot pronounce her name, so I'm gonna call her Baby D.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
I hear the voices in my head, the suffering of the dead, the history that they want us to forget, the slaughter of those looked upon as animals, and still we aren't really free yet. Every branch, every leaf encounters the souls of that they tried to keep. Those souls live within me. I see the images before me, and when I close my eyes, they haunt me. And as I try to forget, they taunt me, 'cause they say I'm over the slave mentality, making excuses about racial brutality, looking for any reason, lynching season, to find something that they could classify as treason. And still today, deaths are on the uprise. Do the ghosts of the trees true justice? It's time to fight and rise. Their voice, never heard, never had a choice. Singing the old gospel spirituals embedded with secret messages of rejoice. I cry about what they had to endure in a land of hatred, a disease that came from bigotry, a disease that they call nigger, where torture and death was their only cure. But even though it may be no surprise, our ancestors still reign as kings and queens in the skies. My mama and daddy taught me that I was more than a color, and I taught the same to my baby sisters and brothers. 'Cause you see, I am like no other. I can see through racism undercover, and I stand for justice for my people as I bow to my knees looking up to the holy steeple. The ghosts of the trees have spoken, and their spiritual souls will forever be golden. And to those mothers who saw their children choking on a noose that they prayed would somehow be broken, Harriet Tubman had that silver token to board the train of free at last, hiding in the shadows, fighting time in the moments of being labeled the outcast, of being beaten for the same skin they tried to hide with masks. But I choose to never forget. Our fight to be an equal hasn't exactly been won yet. Their blood is my blood and flows within my veins. The history they fought before me leads me as I journey down the road of I'm not good enough. I can never do enough. My skin is not light enough. My work, although excellent, is just never good enough. I am an extension of my ancestors. Did I mention? The facts of human slavery still bring about tension. The ghosts of the trees are here, and they shall never leave. In the history that they had no choice to reside, we must have unity and pride. Because the demons of the past before us took our innocence like thieves. And we should always remember the ghost of the trees. Peace.
Greetings. I am Dimakazo N. Chitabu. I am 18 years old from South Africa, and this is my poetry entry. The title of my poem is Power to Women, and it is dedicated to all the abused, voiceless women around the world. Power to women. We were not born free to die young. You can't stomp my glory with your rage and fury. You can't take away my dignity, the only thing that's left defining me. You can't treat me like a paper doll with a heart so small it seems tiny, and no, I will no longer sit pretty and watch you manipulate me, because we are tired. Tired of being tied to an apron string of our mother nation, caged like wild birds in need of survival, gasping in shock. The air is slowly thickening. Why them? Why us? They say that there is equality among us, but where is it? I don't see any equality. Or by equality, do you mean when men beat up women? Do you mean when young people are being raped and killed every single day? Is that your equality, maybe? Is that your way of showing respect to the opposite gender? Gender equity is what should be happening nowadays, but no. Instead, we use cruel ways to gain respect. We brutally kill to end what? Regret and imprisonment? When will all this come to an end? Aren't you tired? Isn't there enough blood on your hands already? The pain you have caused this nation, is it not enough? If real men do not act now, then what will become of us? What will become of this nation? What about the future generations? Is this what we will teach our sons? To be cruel? To never take no for an answer? No means no. You need to respect that and get it through your head. We can do better. Thank you.
Wow. Now, she was our 2022 Courageous Poet of the Year. And that's why you see her with the shirt. We shifted all the way, her award all the way up to South Africa. And, a lot of people don't know that, they might see some of these guests on here from all over. They still keep in contact. They still keep in contact with me. And now she's back again. So since she became the Courageous Poet of the Year of 2022, she has been on radio stations. She have also speaking amongst the ones there in South Africa, and she's pushing forward. She's going to begin to write her book as well. So she has that in store. We are so proud of her. So, before we get to her, Nikita, I know they probably call me a crybaby because, if people knew the story, you would feel where they coming from with their words and their power and the way they flowing. And Nikita is just like gumbo. You got the crab, you got the shrimp, you got the sausage. She is everything in one. She performs our live to draw people in, to get her expression out, to get her gift out. And I've been so proud of her, in what she had been doing. She was also 2023 Inspirational Poet of the Year for the work that she had done within the community. So going to Miss South Africa, what do you feel from her words and what do you get from what she's expressing?
Wow. First of all, looking at her and listening to the words that came out of her mouth, uh, preceding seeing her, I said, look at what God did.
Mm,
Look at what God did. God is so good. He is so good. You know, they say out of the mouth of babes, and I know she's not our youngest, but for me, at my age, this is like looking at one of my grandbabies, and the beauty of her thought, the way that she uh, put her thoughts together to express what she was feeling, and to pay homage to women, and to courageously tell us men, you know what I'm saying, that we need to see you. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was just like so powerful. She's she's my new Huey P. Newton, if you will. And for those that don't know, that was a courageous brother that led a campaign with the Black Panthers. So she puts me in that fighter spirit. You know what I mean? You remember Aquila and the Bee?
yeah.
Oh, she got that tone, that voice, the way her poems. She made me actually, when I listen to her, I think about Aquila and the Bee. And if you ever listen to it, just listen to her as they're narrating, and
Mm,
that's her. That's her. So yeah, my hat's off to her.
yes. I see her like my baby sister is like when she texts me and she, speaks, she, it's not just me speaking into her, but she also speaks into me.
Mhm.
And it is such a beautiful feeling, when we and her communicate, and it's a blessing for somebody. I mean, I was shocked in 2002 because that was the first time I realized that we was being seen worldwide. And I was like, South Africa. I'm like, wow. It's 3 a.m. in the morning for them. So when it's 7 p.m. here for us and 8 p.m. where you at.
Mm,
So for her to be up and actually watch and support what we're doing here on the show, I feel so proud.
mm,
But I also, love the way she stands because it's like she's standing her ground. She's breaking her silence. She's expressing, you know, what they're going through. And it's just like saying, we got to come together. It's just like saying, help. It's just like saying, y'all need to wake up and realize you're going through it. So it's not just here in the United States, but it's also over there in South Africa.
mhm, mhm. Absolutely.
So that was a beautiful, beautiful piece that she sent over. And like I said, I'm very, very proud of her. And, like I said, I ain't the judge. So I'm safe. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead and bring our next contestant that entered in. And he says he don't see himself as a poet. He said he's a storyteller.
Mm.
But when I seen him, I'm telling you, he had every vein, every muscle, every emotion just flowing the way his style just go. And I'm going to introduce this to y'all, Mr. Harold Outley.
Never, ever, ever have I been ashamed or afraid to admit the demographic of women, even as a teen, I've possessed an affinity for. The recipient of numerous jokes and questions from my homies like, hey dog, what you like them big girls so much for? You see, that's the type of foolishness I chose to ignore, but over the years, the feelings remained. With it came some experience and some appreciation, so you can definitely say it was enhanced, but it hadn't changed. Now, granted, we know being visual is a vital component within a man's DNA, and even as I stand here today, I must say my eyes still light up just watching her walk. So voluptuous, full of confidence, loving how her hips sway, and it's on total display. Upon entering the room, heads turn. Some of the smaller ladies may snicker and crack their little jokes, but they quickly move out of her way. Noticing this, she just adjusts her crown slightly. You see, this is queen status, beyond regal. While many may be intimidated, some may view her presence alone as downright illegal. In my humble opinion, the most discriminated, unappreciated, unprotected group of people on the planet. So outlandish, and I can't stand it, because I was raised by one. That, and what I speak of, is a black woman. Sisters, you are not to be defined by society's standard of beauty. You set the standard. In fact, you are the standard. Now, we know man may hold the title as the head, but you, the real, the heartbeat from which the blood flows, breathing life through the lungs of man, enabling him the ability to utilize that brain, the strength to lead and sustain effectively. You are his backbone, the most dangerous of any kind of weaponry, and all your splendor. Starting from those beautifully pedicured toes, most importantly to your brain, to your heart, down to your cuticles. You see, this must be reinforced into the minds of young girls, reminding them of their value as they evolve into this world, disregarding the images seen on this internet and television. Escape that prison, being susceptible to self-doubt. You see, when God created you, he loved you so much that he sprinkled a little something extra in the pot. So much so that women around the world are literally paying for what you got naturally. I'm merely a vessel here to reassure you of your worth beyond what you see in the mirror. So remove those blinders. Jackson Pollock cannot paint this masterpiece any clearer. That is you. Because if we have learned from the likes of the Michelle Obamas and the Serena Williamses and countless others, the sky is not the limit, black woman, because you, and yes, you too, for you, the sky is limitless.
Love it. Love it. Now, Mr. Owley, Christina, he will not be your birthday gift. He is happily newlywed to a young, beautiful lady. So, but yes, she keep this girl as a trip. But you know, he is a true gift when I say it, because when you look him up, you can find him on YouTube, and he also is on Facebook as well. But I love his style. But in this piece here, before I give my opinion and what I got from it, what did you get from Mr. Outley?
Man, he's somewhat of a pathfinder. He's someone that was courageous enough to step outside of the guidelines of the status quo, so to speak, the stereotypical um, vision that most men have of what's beautiful. And I admire that. I admire that because our women come in various sizes, shapes, colors, tones, and all of them should be celebrated. Because if we're true in what we say when we say to ourselves, whether we Christian, Muslims, whoever, and we say, "Oh, God ain't made no mistakes," well, He didn't. You know what I'm saying? So that art that he's expressing about the beauty of this woman who captured his soul, his heart, that's like the essence of what God intended for us to do when he said man and woman. He didn't say woman 36, 34, 26. Now he didn't say all of that.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? That wasn't the criteria. And his expression, just took me personally, it centered me, and my realization that you ain't got to be small and petite, and if you are, cool, because it's not measured in inches and pounds. You know what I'm saying? Loyalty, desire, passion, all those things, what I'm saying, that makes the heart beat faster, that makes it go faint, is not measured in inches and pounds. So
Mm.
for him to serve it like that, what I'm saying, just brought that home to me that that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Because he talking about this woman, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like, yeah, bro, I hear you. And to even go to the piece, and I'll be real quick, where she adjusted her crown. You know what I'm saying? When she was being attacked and she picked up on it. And sister, and he expressed it so well and eloquently, like she just adjusted her crown. You know what I'm saying? I've even seen that in you, Spicy. You know what I'm saying? In situations where you had to adjust your crown.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Black woman. You know what I'm saying? So, you can be small and petite, you know what I'm saying, with little bitty feet, or you can be too something, but you're gonna do something.
Mm. That
so
part.
so so it's all right. It's all right. I think I applaud him. I applaud him.
Yes. Yes. Love it. Love it. And that's one thing that made me keep following him. And I know he doesn't know it, but I've always got my eyes on him. Always got. And yes, Chris, he is very handsome in a respectable way. But what caught me with Mr. Outley was that the fact that when I first, and he knows my favorite piece of his is the first one, and he was in this bar scene, and I was just scrolling, and when I seen it, it just caught my attention. And that's what I love about when he tells his story, is that he's showing his love and his appreciation for the woman that God created. And this is where I say, this is a real man that know how to appreciate what God has molded within a form from the rib of Adam,
Mhm.
to where he's not cutting her down. He's not attacking her. He's trying to build her up. He's trying to show y'all the value within her, not in her assets, but what he sees in her form. And that's what I love about him. And the thing about it is when he uses his words and the way he describes what he's speaking about, you cannot fall asleep because he got your attention. And that's one thing I seen with the judges when they was going over the videos. When it came to Mr. Owley, it was just like they were just attention the whole time. It wasn't like in 2022 where we had one of the poets when they was like, I was about to fall asleep, you know. And this is what I love about his pieces is the way he expresses it. He don't need no props or anything behind him because his words and his mannerisms speaking for alone. And that's why I say he has a true blessing, but he also has a blessing in him because the way he had formed his structure and his stand and his words shows how he uplifts women. How he says, no, Lord, this is the way you love him. This is the way you appreciate him. But also on the woman's side, it's the fact that look at me. Let me tell you really what you're about. The form that you stand in. This is who you are. And this the way he put words, this will have a woman to where she won't need a BBL. She won't need to get her breasts in big boobs. This makes her see mentally without undressing her what she is in value. And that's what I love about him. You see, the comments that we see in there, you could tell the women's feeling him, the way he's encouraging them. And, we should do it for each other. And this is what I've been speaking the whole time that I've been on this platform. Is, you go through social media and all you hear is the bashing of each other instead of loving on each other. Finding a real man to stand up and know how to show what love really is and appreciation and what a value in a person is. Now, all we need is somebody to speak that same way when it comes down to our men, because I'm telling you, if we can uplift ourselves, uplift each other the way he has uplift women, encourage them, can you imagine how powerful we can be? How loving that this planet will be if we could just uplift each other and love on each other and just see each other in a positive form instead of trying to tear each other down. Can you imagine how powerful we will be? And he bought that power. Now, I know from this will make you think even more when you see a woman now, won't it?
I think when I see him anyway.
Yes.
It
Yes.
depends on what I'm thinking.
Yes. And this is what I said for what y'all seen so far. When Dwight told you, I told you, and Keisha said it, pressure. These poets this year was pressure. They weren't playing. They brought the sweetness, they brought the education, they brought the visional of the form to let you appreciate just being a human being. And if we could get more poets like that to speak out, boy, this will be sweet. This will be really, really sweet. So we're going to go to our last commercial. And what we're going to do in our last commercial, we're going to go ahead and let y'all see our last year's powerful poet. Because on the 27th, that's when we're going to be calling up live. We ain't saying nothing because I love the reactions. We're going to be calling up live the winners right here on the show.
You know what I mean?
And the winners this year, because I know y'all know how we do it. All the winners this year will be, the winners that we call up are receiving a trophy. The powerful poet is this beautiful one right here. That is the powerful poet. But we have other categories as well. We will be shipping all over the world. Doesn't matter where you at. We love everyone all over the world. So I'm gonna tell you straight up, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and introduce last year's powerful poet. And then the next piece as well. Everyone, 2023 Powerful Poet of the Year.
The title of this spoken word piece is called I Am a Sister. I am a sister that sees the pain of another queen, and I am not afraid to build her up with words that will break the walls of past rejection, hurts, and stains. Will the residue have left scars of wounds that cries out, wanting to be free from the buildup of years of something wanting to break free from slavery? I am a sister that sees the pain and tries to build with positivity and not jealousy, love and not hate, unity and not discord. We are one no matter the race. We must as women know our place. Bruised with the weight of identity, all because of past insecurity. That little girl that is inside you that was afraid to break the walls of fear, that left stains of lost identity to let one in to hear. Sisters, rise up. You are more than an open leg that craves the erection of one's manhood. Rise to the occasion and open up the wounds that had you so secluded, and you have put yourself in a cage to hide from society because of the inside issues that you face. In prison with memories of past screams that is inside you that you're afraid that one would not want to hear. The wounds of negativity are words from the person that pushed your existence after 9 months. The rejection of the very one that was supposed to love every crease, every layer that you possess, instead feeling like stab wounds across your chest. Sisters, I love you. I am breaking the generational curses that told you that you are not that jewel that glistens. Listen, today I break my sister wall, and I will help her build and stand tall with the tools of love and self-esteem. Today, sister, you are revived. Your walls have been rebuilt. I will help you build, showing you, my sister, when you carry a burden as a woman, I feel your pain. Because I hurt when you hurt. For we, as women, should feel the pain of our sister. For we are our sister keeper. Blessings.
And guess what? She's back.
Hi, my name is Christy Darling, and the title of this spoken piece is called Shaken But Not Broken. I hope you like it. For I am shaken. I am here. I am here fighting beyond these walls of captivity that wants to hold me. Let me go. Let me be free. I am raped, bruised, yet I am shaken but not broken. I have tears that have stained my pupils until my eyes are swollen with evidence I am human. And I am hurting. Yet I will not stop, and I cannot quit. I am not broken, shattered, but not destroyed. I stand here with hands of surrenderance to surrender, for pain could not hold me. Beyond the trials of adversity, I am made stronger. Each scar indicates I healed. Each stain indicates I overcame. Pardon me for a minute while I collect my thoughts and pause. I breathe, knowing that I overcame, that I may allow another to break through chains and triumph through pain. Your identity is becoming whole. Your low self-esteem has arrived. You are not shaken, but you are valuable more than gold. Awaken out of the pit and allow your spirit to rise to the voice of the Most High. Come forth, be thou made whole. Breathe. Breath is being blown into every ligament and joint. Your bones are being rejuvenated and moistened to not break you. You are not broken. You are arriving to the potential of manifestation. You are not the words of society. You are created with purpose and uniqueness. You are not that ugly duckling that you think that you see. You are the craftsmanship to the potter's hands. You are from the miry clay and molded for greatness. You are the product of arrival and not disaster. You are the whole and not the piece that was yesterday's era. You are bold and courageous and completely complete to be you. Every trial couldn't break you, for through the fiery darts the word sustained you, and faith allowed you to conquer through. Shaken, yet strong. Shaken, yet anointed. Shaken, yet you're still here. Broken pieces, becoming a uniquely powerful vessel, which is you. Blessings.
Yes. Make sure y'all tune in next Friday as our Grown Men Talking Incorporated brings the topic to you that's going to be fire, the unfulfilled proportion. When a woman cannot be satisfied with just one man, wow, that's going to be something else. Also, don't keep in mind that in the eyes on the post, because we're going to be coming up on Mother's Day. So we're going to be having the Unspoken Heart Mother's Day Purple raffle, where all you got to do is put a purple heart in the comment area and you're entered in. And we also going to be calling them up live. We also going to be having up on June, the Father's Day. The Grown Men Talking Incorporated will be bringing to you the Father's Day White Heart raffle. So make sure y'all tune in live and show them that love. Wow. Last year's powerful poet. She came back. What do you think? Tell me your opinion. What did you feel? And what was your thoughts on what she was flowing?
That sister beast. I mean, flat out. I mean, how do you? Sometimes, it's like when they talk about Jordan, right? And it's like you just say his name, Jordan. It say it all. It's like that's the GOAT. Well, that's controversial, but you understand my point. Is that that their name is synonymous with the fire that they bring, and she brings it. You know what I'm saying? She brings it.
Yes, she does, and that's what I love about her. The one thing that I can say is that she is so humble, and we have had many conversations, and she just, when she enters, she just like, I just want to let you know, I'm not coming in to win. She said, I'm sending a message. I just want to send a message out, and I'm gonna tell you, I love it. I love it. When I hear her piece there, You know, and we're not talking about the one from last year because we already discussed that one last year. But this year, you know, the piece that she threw out there, I mean, it's like the description of how it's just like saying, I'm not broken. Ain't nothing can defeat me. I'm still standing. You can do what you can. Just like it says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And every word she said in there, it backs right behind that. It's just like it's under umbrella of what that states. You know, just how a person, that woman has been through so many trials and tribulations, how she been thrown down and tossed around, but she's still standing, but she still remembers as well. But she take those scars and that pain and use it as a weapon to keep standing and fighting. And that's what I love about that piece. And when you say power, power, she bring that power heavy. She ain't playing no games. And I love it for, you know, for the piece that she put out there. So, you know, God bless her. And like, you know, we said all the poets, they brought pressure. Y'all seen everyone except for with the children. Okay, we got these children coming up. I'm telling you. But, you know, I thank the poets that came in. I am going to say, let me put myself up here. I'm very disappointed in San Antonio because nobody from San Antonio, everybody's from out of the state, so entered. But it's okay because we still blessed. We still got the blessing that came in. So I'm gonna go ahead and show this next. We're gonna go ahead and go to the children's. As we spoke, we love for the children to come in and express themselves. And when I say they express, whether they reciting somebody else's poem piece or whether they making up their own, I'm telling you, they bought that fire. We have little Miss Chloe bringing hers in, Black Child.
Hey Black Child by County Kellen. Hey Black Child, do you know who you are, who you really are? Do you know you can be what you want to be if you try to be what you can be? Hey Black Child, do you know where you're going? I mean really going? Do you know you can learn what you want to learn if you try to learn what you can learn? Hey Black Child, do you know you are strong? I mean really strong? Do you know you can do what you want to do if you try to do what you can do? Hey Black Child, be what you can be, learn what you must learn, do what you to do, and tomorrow your nation will be what you want it to be. Hey Black Child.
You know what? I love when they bring their little hand motion and expressions. It just makes you flow with the words that they saying. And you know, this is a piece that was written by somebody else, but the love from it that she had and the expression that she displayed, what did you get from it?
Inspirational to see that our children, you know what I'm saying, are unafraid to utilize their voice and creative enough to articulate the message that, you know, that our kids need to hear. You know, hey, Black child, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's a cry that we've been crying for so long, you know, adult wise, to hear, you know, our youth say it. It's like it was like almost kind of prophetic, you know what I'm saying? You know, in a sense. So, you know, in terms of how we rate other poets, you know, I'm definitely not gonna go out on a limb and rate her, but I am gonna say that she's phenomenal in her quest and to utilize her gift, and I applaud her.
Yes, yes. I agree with you as well. You know, I love the way she displayed it. I love the way she carried it out. Her form as a child, she brought it. And you could see that she was feeling the words that was flowing through her lips. And this is a prime example of how poetry inspires and encourages our children to want to do more, to want to be more, and want to, feel more. And I was so proud when she stood up and said that I want to recite. Yeah, you can recite it. It don't have to be just a piece that she wrote. But my thing is how you bring it. So, like I said, I love it. The message in it, the way she gestured it was perfectly great. And we're going to have our last poet, which is our youth as well. And she actually wrote hers. And y'all this girl is phenomenal. Listen at this.
Hello everyone, my name is Elena and I'm going to be reading a poem that I wrote called Be Real. This is inspired by the tragedies that we go through as Black women, men, girls, and boys. Thank you for this opportunity and I thank you guys for giving me a chance at this. Hope you enjoy. They say we are one, but are we for real? You keep stabbing and give me no time to heal. Little or not, it shouldn't be done, so I ask again, how are we one? Plus 2 seems to be 3, but does society really want equality? They don't. Little black boys and girls with pretty black curls have a fear that death is near. But what choice do they have and what choice do you give them? You don't. Because as they walk the streets, the world is getting stranger, people louder and animals wilder, and you do nothing. But you dare call yourself a protector, a leader, provider? In what ways does being a leader mean bystander? It doesn't. Be real. You say Black is beautiful, but is that true? Or just a simple use to hide your ugly and deceitful pride? Like my people, Maya Angelou, she says, I rise. Be real. So cut the crap in the games, for we know that this is not a phase. Because what was that one activist named? Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King. He died for our rights, but what did that do if police are still killing us out of the blue? Be real. Did you really care about us or just made it seem like you did? Because this racial inequality is hurting you and your kid. Be real to yourself and to me. You didn't really care, we can all clearly see. And I won't say it again to let that sink in real deep. Be real.
Wow. Speechless for someone to be so young and be even mention, who inspired her. And Maya Angelou was my inspiration coming up. And to hear her say, Maya Angelou, shows that she's already heading in the right way in a poetic style, because the way she's thinking, she's not thinking about the mall. She's not thinking about getting into troubles. She's thinking about what's going on in the world today, not just with the adults, but children like her. And my thing is, I have to say, this is for the mother. Because speaking with this mother, the joy she had, the support she has for her daughter in doing poetry, you could sense the love and how she just standing right behind her. Yes, you got this. Yes, you could do this. That is a great support system right there. She's gonna go far. Now, Elena, What did you think about her piece when you heard hers?
Again, nothing short of phenomenal. And you express my sentiments exactly. Spicy, and I for one see that influence or hear the influence, of a parental influence, a guide somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's, yeah, yeah, she's great. And who her family, hats off to you too for supporting her.
I love her. I love her piece as well because it's like she's saying, be real with yourself. Be real with what's really going on around you. Be real about where we headed. The examples that she set forth in that poetry piece. And she expressed how she was thinking Martin Luther King. Just like saying everything he stood for. I love the way she did that. And, to be these two youth, I really love how they stepped up. They was bold. They wasn't afraid. And the way they expressed themselves was beautiful. I love it. Now, I'm going to ask in the crowd because we heading towards the end because I can smell my greens cooking.
I can't. I can't.
Yes, I done made the greens, baby.
I can't.
My stomach is like, ah. But um, I'm gonna ask the ones in the comments because I see they commenting as well, and I appreciate y'all and I thank y'all for giving y'all insight as well. And like I said, we're not telling you who it is, but do y'all out there have a favorite one amongst the ones that you have seen within the adults? Yes, you could call in. Let me put the number up for you. You could call in as well. The phone line is up. But which one did y'all feel the most out of all the poets that y'all seen here today? There's a number right there, 512-668-2814. You could call in. Because I'm going to say all of them was pressure. Now you see what we talk about when the judges had their hands full. Because they were just like, oh my goodness. And then when it came out of the powerful poet, it just like taking that volleyball back and forth, back and forth. Okay, we got a caller in. Hello, caller. How you doing?
Hey, blessings. This is Christy. I want to say the the second young lady, both of them was great, but my heart went out to her because it's like she put her love in that. You know what I mean? And I can tell that she has been through stuff, and financially, she's gonna bring finance to her family. If she keep going how she going, I don't know the struggle. I don't know what they're going through in their family, but God say that calling on her life, it's intangible. She kind of remind me of myself. Every poet on here was great, was phenomenal. They brought the pressure, so I feel for the judges. Everybody is great. I do poetry for ministry because I want to lift somebody out of depression, oppression. It's not like you quoted. It's not about winning. It's about bringing people out of a dry place because you don't know what people are going through. So I just want to say to everybody, y'all did a great job. When you can go back and look at your poetry and read your own poetry and bring yourself out of the pit, it speaks volumes. So I just want to say great job, everyone. Africa, I love her. So, I love both of the young ladies. Particular, I have no favorite, but that the second young lady, God has a dynamic calling on her life. She reminds me of me, and I just want her to know that you are beautiful and you can be what God says you can be. Blessings.
Yes. It's sure, Mr. Lee. I got you. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate that. Let's see. Let me put the number in the chat for Miss Lee. We would love to hear from him. I don't know why I didn't pick up that first part. It's 512-668-2814. I don't know why he didn't pick it up. Let me put it in there again. It's probably because I didn't have my glasses on. And we do appreciate all of y'all that joined in and gave y'all opinions, enjoyed this with the judge. Now you get to see what the judges were talking about. So, and they finally did. They did. They finally came in. Okay, here we go, Carla. Hello.
Hey,
are you there?
Yes.
Okay. If you got a radio on in the background, it probably will help if you cut it down a little bit.
I'm just gonna cut it off. I don't need to hear myself. But no, I'm gonna say first of all, I really do feel for the judges because these are some very fire poets. I'm really loving the diversity, like I said earlier in the comments. I'm loving the diversity of expression and the way that the poets are giving themselves away. Because to me, this is therapy for me. That's why I started writing in the first place. And even though some of the poems that the ladies did were about women, as a man, I could relate to some of those things. And that's what I love about it, the simple fact that they're able to paint such a vivid picture.
Mm-hmm.
You can analyze it and make it personal, regardless of if you're a male or female, because we go through some of those same things. We just don't know how to express them.
Yes, true.
So, and I want to say thank y'all for even allowing me the opportunity to be a part of the competition, the contest. But I do understand that there is a message that needs to be heard. So I appreciate every last one of the poets that answered, and I'm so glad that I was able to be a part of this opportunity.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate you from the heart.
Yes, ma'am.
And make sure you tune in on the 27th, because hey, that's when the announcements are coming.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be there.
Okay, you have a good weekend.
Y'all too.
Yes, I I agree with him. I think you're mute. Yeah. I have to agree.
So,
Each one of them did bring a message. They each one did. And that's what I love, whether it's from a lost one, or maybe it's the pain, or education, or even the ministry. It all was a message. And I mean, each one of them touched me. Each one. I can say this year, I really, truly loved it. I really, truly loved it. It was beautiful. And I do want to say as well, I'm so appreciative. You just don't know. I am so appreciative to see the men step up. And it overjoyed me for the men to step up and be a part of this as well, so that people could feel them along the way too, and to hear the message that was within their voices, and what their path has been, and what they see and what they visualize. That there is a true gift within itself, just for the men to come up as well, instead of just being all women. And I truly, truly thank y'all for that. I really, because I love when the men step in and show that, not just saying authority, but showing that, look, I'm here too. So too bad that Mr. Britton didn't have nothing written down, because we'll have him recite something.
you know, yeah, I should have, because I don't want you to put me on the spot. And I can go off the top now, but
I get you next time.
I go off the top. You know what I'm saying? It won't be no roses of red, violets of blue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be that. I give you something real. But yeah, I was just listening to what Lee had to say, and I think that although I agree with him in totality, one of the things that I like to make clear is that we as black men, have been so traumatized, you know, and our voices over the period of time, although it's gotten stronger, in the past we were there, but it was kind of dormant. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like
Yes.
the volume was turned down. And
Yes.
I think that was as a result of two things. One of them was the fear that we wouldn't be heard,
Mm.
and secondly is that the fear of being heard.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me explain that. So, if I recite a poem, about my pains, say for instance, black child found himself molested at the age of 8. No black mother could he go to talk about the pains and the aches. And so at any rate, I ain't gonna start.
Yeah,
But
yeah. We gonna get you. We gonna get you,
but
Mister.
at any rate, we need to be heard. We need to be heard. We need to have safe places for our expression. You know what I'm saying? And those men that step forward today, obviously they've been doing what they do. They feel safe. But don't think that black men aren't out there beating the drum and at different venues and carrying the torch of this poetic expression. We do that. We do that. And I've seen a great many of them. We just need to know that you would be free enough to embrace us, to invite us in. And thanks for doing that publicly, Spicy. So.
Nobody but God. Nobody but God. But
Mm.
I'm gonna say this: from what I've seen with the two men that came in, they opened the gates on breaking the silence for the other men. So I look to next year, more men coming in. Stand your ground, break your silence, and bring that poetic. So, I mean, I love it. I love it. Take us out of here, Mr. Britton, with something nutritional.
If you haven't heard anything tonight, then you obviously haven't listened to the beat of your own heart, because through those expressions by these phenomenal poets, they expressed every element of our existence. You couldn't help but to feel it. So when you write, constantly write. When you hear something inside your head, inside your heart, inside your soul, write it. Our life is nothing if it's not poetic. I love y'all. Love each other. We out here.
And in saying that, make sure y'all tune in next week to Grown Men Talking Incorporated. And also make sure, mark that calendar, set that notification, because on the 27th, we be calling y'all up. So make sure you tune in. Y'all have a blessed weekend. Thank you for supporting us, loving on us, and tuning in. See you later. Much love.